I truly believe that success does not come from one big move. It comes from small, consistent things we do every single day. These habits are not about being perfect. They're about being intentional. So whether you're rebuilding, rebranding, or just trying to show up for yourself better, this video is for you. If you're new here, hi, my name is Tiffany, and I make content all about confidence, self-improvement, and becoming the best version of yourself. Now, if that sounds like your vibe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you here. Let's get into it. So let's start with one of the most foundational habits. This is something that sets the tone for everything else you do. Successful women don't just wake up and hope the day goes well. They set the tone before the day even begins. And that means being proactive, not reactive. Before the text, before the emails, and before the social media scrolls, they check in with themselves first. And listen, I had to learn this the hard way. I used to wake up late, already stressed, already behind, checking my phone before I even sat up in the bed. But now, I treat my mornings like sacred time. I start with a moment of prayer and gratitude. After that, I might journal or just sit in stillness for a few minutes before I dive into my day. Sometimes I write down 3 things I'm grateful for and 3 intentions for the day. And that alone gets my mindset in the right place. When you start your day with intention, you show up differently. You're more present, more focused, and more grounded. It helps you respond to life instead of constantly reacting to it. So if you're new to this, start small. Try setting a 5-minute timer in the morning before checking your phone, and just breathe, pray, and write 1 sentence about how you want to show up for that day. Something like, today I choose to be calm and stay focused. Just that 1 sentence can anchor you throughout your entire day. Successful women don't leave their peace up to chance. They create it on purpose. Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked when we're talking success. How you treat your body, which I am so guilty of. Successful women understand that physical movement isn't just about being in shape. It's about staying sharp. Your body is a vessel. It carries you through every dream, every responsibility, and every goal. And when you move it, you activate energy, clarity, and confidence. And here's the thing, you don't need to be in the gym 6 days a week or train like an influencer on Instagram. Like, movement can be gentle, it can be really fun. It could be as simple as dancing around your room while you're cleaning, doing yoga in your living room, or just taking a brisk walk while you listen to your favorite podcast or gospel playlist. And personally, I notice a major difference in my mood and my mindset when I make time to move. Even just 20 minutes of walking helps me relieve so much stress, come up with fresh ideas, and just make me feel more like myself. It's not about the scale, it's about showing up for yourself. And successful women, they don't wait until they feel like it. They've made movement part of their lifestyle because they know when you move your body, you move your energy. And that energy flows into every part of your life. If you struggle with consistency, try this. Make movements convenient and enjoyable. Keep your yoga mat near your bed, or keep a cute pair of sneakers by the door. Start with just 10 minutes and then build from there. And here's a bonus. Choose a song that hypes you up and make that your movement anthem. Every time it comes on, that's your cue to get up and move. The goal isn't perfection, it's momentum. Movement is a form of self-respect, and successful women, they make it a daily habit. Not to chase a better body, but to build a better version of themselves from the inside out. And as you protect your energy physically, successful women also know the importance of protecting their energy emotionally and mentally too. Now this one right here, girl, this changed everything for me. Successful women are not available for everything and everyone. They have learned, sometimes the hard way, that saying yes to everyone else constantly means saying no to themselves. Honey, I used to be the yes girl. I used to say yes to everything. I'd overextend myself, stay on the phone too long, take on things that drain me, attend events I didn't even want to be at, just to avoid disappointing people. But all that did was leave me empty, burnt out, resentful, and tired. Until I realized this: boundaries are not walls. They're doors. Doors that lead to peace, clarity, and alignment. Successful women know their limits. They understand that their time and their energy are currency. So they protect them with intention, and they don't apologize for it. They say no kindly and firmly. They delegate. They make rest a priority, not a reward. And guess what? People who are meant to truly be in your life will honor your boundaries. And the one who gets upset about them probably benefits from you not having any in the first place. So start small. Practice saying, I'm not available for that right now. Let me get back to you on that. That doesn't align with my priorities at the moment. You don't have to over-explain, and you don't have to convince anyone. Like, you're allowed to say no without guilt. Girl, if it costs you your peace, your clarity, or your purpose, it's too expensive. Period. So protect your space like you protect your bag, girl. Boundaries are how you tell the world, I love myself enough to honor what I need. And successful women, they walk in that truth daily. Let me tell you something successful women already know. You are your greatest asset. And that means we don't wait for someone to hand us an opportunity. We prepare for it before it arrives. Self-investment is not just about buying books or taking courses, although those are powerful. It's also about the way you treat yourself daily, what you consume, how you speak to yourself, who you surround yourself with. Successful women pour into themselves on purpose because they understand that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You can't build a business, raise a family, grow in your career, or chase your dreams if you're constantly depleted. So they make self-investment a lifestyle, not a once-a-year thing. I personally used to think that investing in myself had to mean spending a lot of money, like expensive courses, luxury retreats, all that type of stuff. But I quickly learned that some of the most powerful shifts came from the free things, like reading library books or watching YouTube videos that challenged my thinking. With that said, I also had to get comfortable with the idea that sometimes real growth comes with a price tag, and you have to be willing to pay it. Whether it's a class, a mentor, or a therapist, or a tool that supports your journey, you are worth the investment. Period. The key is, don't wait till everything is perfect. Start with what you have, and as you grow, keep pouring into yourself, because nothing you invest in your growth is ever wasted. So pick one small way to invest in yourself each day. Just one. Read 10 pages of a book. Listen to a 15-minute podcast while you do your makeup. Watch a YouTube video that teaches you something new. And here's a mindset shift. Don't look at self-investment as a luxury. See it as survival. Your future self is depending on you to continue learning and stop playing small. Now, with all that growth and learning, you need structure to actually apply it, because elevation requires organization. Successful women don't just hope for things to happen. They plan for them. They understand that structure creates freedom. And when you're organized, you move with clarity, not chaos. And let's be real, life gets real busy. Between work, home, goals, relationships, it's easy to feel like you're constantly playing catch up. But the difference between feeling overwhelmed and feeling in control often comes down to how well you're managing your time. Successful women have systems. It could be a planner, a digital calendar, sticky notes, or even a simple to-do list on their phone. But the key is they don't rely on memory alone. They create a game plan. They prioritize. They get honest about what's urgent, what's important, and what can wait. So for me, Sundays are usually my reset day. I'll grab my notebook or open my notes app on my phone. Nothing fancy, and just look at what's coming up for the week. I write down what I need to get done and anything important that I need to prep for. And I try to carve out some space to breathe too, even if it's just a reminder to unplug one evening or go to bed early. Because honestly, rest is a part of the plan, not something I squeeze in last minute. Planning ahead also helps you avoid decision fatigue. You're not waking up wondering, what should I do today? Because the plan is already in place. And that right there frees up mental space for bigger things, like dreaming, creating, or just breathing. I want you to try the top 3 method. Each morning or the night before, write down the 3 most important tasks you want to accomplish. Just 3. This keeps you focused and prevents overwhelm. Now, you can still get more done, but if those 3 things are checked off, you've won the day. And don't be afraid to time block. Create chunks of time in your day for specific things. Emails, creative work, meetings, workouts. It keeps you from multitasking and helps you stay in the zone. Being organized doesn't mean being rigid. It means being intentional. And when you plan your day, your week, your life, success becomes a lot less accidental and a lot more inevitable. But while you're checking off goals and planning your future, successful women never forget to pause and appreciate the now. Because let me tell you what successful women don't do. They don't wait until the big moment to clap for themselves. They create moments, they celebrate progress, and most importantly, they stay rooted in gratitude no matter what season they're in. Gratitude is a mindset that shifts everything. It turns I have to into I get to. It turns lack into abundance. It reminds you that even if you're not where you want to be, yet you're further than you were. And I had to learn this the hard way. There was a time when I was so focused on the next goal, the next milestone, the next level, that I wasn't even enjoying what I had prayed for. I was doing the work, but I wasn't feeling the joy. And then I realized, what's the point of building the life of your dreams if you're too busy chasing to even see it? Successful women take a moment to pause and say, look at what I've done. Look at how far I've come. They may treat themselves to a solo date. They may write in their journal or just even say a quick thank you out loud. It's not about bragging. It's about honoring the journey. I want you to start what I call a victory list. Keep a note in your phone or a small journal where you track every win, big or small. Sent the email you were procrastinating? Victory. Got out of bed and showed up when you didn't feel like it? Victory. Hit a goal, had a breakthrough, chose peace over drama? Victory. And every week, look back at those wins and celebrate them. Like light a candle, play your favorite song, dance, thank God. Girl, you are growing, even on the days that don't feel like it. Gratitude keeps you grounded, and celebrating your growth keeps you motivated. Successful women don't just focus on the finish line. They fall in love with the process. And of course, staying grateful is powerful, but staying consistent, that's where the real shift happens. Now here's something that might sting a little bit, but it's the truth. Motivation is a mood. Discipline? Now that's a decision. Successful women, they know that motivation comes and goes. One day it's here, the next day it ain't. Like some days you feel like crushing your to-do list, hitting the gym, filming the content, or checking every box. And some days, girl, you don't. You're tired, you're uninspired, life be lifing, and that's when most people stop. But not her, not the successful woman. She doesn't let her feelings lead. She lets her standards lead. She knows that the version of herself that she's becoming requires consistency. And consistency is a byproduct of discipline. Discipline is showing up when it's hard. It's doing what needs to be done when you'd rather scroll, take a nap, or just quit. It's the quiet work that nobody sees, but everybody respects later. And girl, I am not speaking from theory. I have lived this. There were so many days that I wanted to skip filming, put off planning, hit the snooze button, but I remembered my why. I remembered the woman I prayed to become, and I showed up, not because I was motivated, but because I made a promise to myself. I want you to create a routine that doesn't rely on how you feel. Identify one habit you want to build and anchor it to a part of your day. For example, after I make my coffee, I write down my top 3 priorities. Or after I brush my teeth, I listen to 10 minutes of a motivational podcast. This is called habit stacking, and it works because it makes discipline automatic. It becomes part of your flow. And stop chasing perfection. Just focus on consistency. Because showing up at 70% every day will always beat showing up at 100% once a week. Remember, the woman who wins is the one who keeps going when she didn't feel like it. And that woman can be you. And finally, no matter how disciplined or driven she is, a successful woman always makes time to check in with herself and reset when needed. Successful women are not just goal getters, they're self-checkers. They don't just move without taking time to ask, is this still working? Am I still aligned? How do I really feel right now? Reflection is not about overthinking. It's about checking in with yourself before burnout checks in with you. And this is a habit that I had to grow into because I used to just push through. I thought if I wasn't grinding 24/7 that I was slacking. But what I've learned is this. You can't hear God, your intuition, or even your own thoughts when you're constantly in go mode. You need quiet, you need space, you need to reset. Now I make it a point to pause every week and reflect. Even if it's just for 10 minutes, I ask myself a few simple questions. What went well this week? What felt heavy or out of alignment? What do I need more of or less of next week? I don't judge myself. I just observe, adjust, and move forward with more clarity. I want you to set a weekly check-in with yourself. Like literally, put it on your calendar. It doesn't have to be deep. It can be on a Sunday evening or even a Monday morning with your coffee. Use a simple journal prompt like, this week I want to feel blank so I can focus on blank. Also remember, a reset doesn't mean you failed. It means you're self-aware enough to course correct. Successful women don't try to do everything perfectly. They just do it intentionally. And that includes making space to stop, breathe, and start again. Because true growth doesn't come from constantly doing more. It comes from knowing when to pause, reflect, and do better. Listen, girl, success is not about being perfect, doing it all, or checking every box. It's about making small, intentional decisions every day that align with the woman that you're becoming. These habits I shared today, they're not rules, they're reminders. Reminders that you have permission to take up space, protect your peace, and show up for yourself consistently. So start where you are. Pick one habit and commit to it. You don't need a complete life overhaul, just a shift in direction. Because the most successful women, they built their lives one decision, one habit, one intentional day at a time. Now girl, if this video spoke to you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share this with another woman who's on her glow up journey. And if you're ready to go even deeper into your self-worth and healing era, make sure you check out my video, How to Decenter Men and Focus on Yourself. I promise you, it's a small reminder that you are the main character, not someone's emotional support system. I'm so proud of you for doing this work. Keep growing, keep glowing, and I'll see you in the next one.